Museveni has signed a controversial new law allowing military courts to try civilians despite a recent Supreme Court ruling declaring the practice unconstitutional. The move has triggered criticism from opposition leaders and rights groups who see it as a tool for political repression ahead of the 2026 elections. To unpack the political and legal implications of this development, we're joined by lawyer and political analyst Jean-Baptiste Gasominari. Jean-Baptiste, thank you for joining us. How are you on this Tuesday?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for making time to chat to us. What's your initial reaction to President Yoweri Museveni's signing of this legislation, given that previously the Supreme Court has had its own ruling over it?
I think it's a mixed feeling because firstly, Uganda is a sovereign country, so I think the president has the right to sign a bill into law allowing the civilians to be tried before military courts. This is a fact. He has that right. As you have introduced, saying that it's a controversial, well, it becomes controversial because many people or all the sides in Uganda are not, they are not agreeable to this bill being signed into law by the president. But the fact is, the bill has been signed, so this is a fact, and I think President Museveni did it after consulting his advisors in the matter. But when you go, I said mixed feelings because when you go back now to the practice and what the lawyers and legal scholars say, normally anybody that commits an offense is entitled to be tried by his natural judge. And for a civilian who has committed a crime, a military judge is not his natural judge. So this is where the whole thing becomes controversial, because the aim is to prosecute and acquit or sentence anyone who is accused of committing an offense, who contravenes the law. So if the natural judge of civilians is a civilian judge, then there is no point of sending this person to a military tribunal or a court martial when this person can be tried by his natural judge who is available in that country. So legally speaking, I think it shouldn't have been an issue, because judges and courts are there to try anyone who contravenes the law according to what the law prescribes. So for me, I think it's a non-issue because normally legal scholars advise that people appear before their natural judges because they want those people to have justice and to have fair justice. You can imagine, in criminal law, when someone is being prosecuted, he is being prosecuted, actually he is one person, one individual or a group individual against the state. A state which has a very big machinery and supposedly that is stronger and good position. And when this person is deprived of defense mechanism, it's like now that the justice is not dispensed to that person or to that group of persons. So I think on one hand, President Museveni, as the president of Uganda, has the right to sign into law any bill that is presented to him if he deems it fit and necessary and unfair.
So it is his right, he's deemed it fit. His government has argued that the law is aimed at civilians who engage in armed political violence. Also in support of this bill is the army spokesperson, who has hailed it as a deterrent to the formation of militant political groups. How big of a problem are these in Uganda, the formation of militant political groups? And what are the broader implications of allowing military tribunals to try civilians?
Well, as I said earlier, legally speaking, I think there is no point in it because, any person contravening the law is entitled to be tried before court of law, and courts of law in Uganda are available that could try those people, irrespective of the nature of the offense or the crimes they have committed. So for me, there was no need to send those people before military tribunals when they can be tried by their natural judges who are available and competent for that, to that effect.
So what will it mean for the credibility then and authority of the judiciary in Uganda, this new bill?
I think the bill dilutes a bit the role of the judiciary because, military judges, I'm not sure if they are as trained as civil judges, career judges who are available in Uganda at all levels, I believe. So, but on the other hand, I said President Museveni has advisors, he has all the necessary to take any decision that he has taken. So I'm not saying that I'm an expert to Ugandan matters. So that is why I'm saying that, on one hand, people who commit the offenses should be tried by their natural judges. That one is a legal fact that cannot be changed. I believe I share this view with so many other lawyers across the region.
So let's talk about those who are against it. Opposition leaders have warned that this law could be used to target figures like Bobby Wine, who is the official opposition in Uganda. Is this a legitimate concern?
Well, it might be legitimate, but it's not all offenses that will be tried by the military tribunals or the court-martial, as they call it in Uganda. So if he is caught committing the offenses that are listed in this law, in this new law, definitely he would be tried by the military courts, like the other opposition leader, Mr. Besigye, who is now being tried. Well, for him, he is maybe a former military officer, but I think now his status is a civilian. Normally, he should have also appeared before civilian courts, but he is being tried by military courts. And the other danger is that militaries follow orders. Whether you are a judge or any other serving military officer, you got orders from your superiors, and you cannot fail to execute those orders. This is why actually dispensing justice to civilians should not be given to military. I think it's not a good move.
Let's rewind a bit. In the case of Bobby Wine, he was previously charged in a military tribunal over illegal possession of guns, charges which were found to have no holding as they were later dropped. Is this not an example of how this bill could be problematic?
But going to that example, I think it's even good if a military court before found that the charges were baseless and were dropped, then I think it adds even credibility to those military courts if they can arrive at that level of dismissing charges. Then that's okay. It means that they are not receiving orders from their superiors.
All right. So Uganda can't intervene against this bill's passage again. As you say, it's the president's right to go for it.
Yeah, I think if it's the president's right that he has exercised, and if these judges can be independent and not receive any orders from their superiors to dispense justice the way they want this justice to be dispensed, then I think any judge can try any offense, and if all can be independent, that's all we want, and that's all we encourage.
All right, let's leave it there for today. Thanks again for your time, Jean-Baptiste.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Political analyst and lawyer Jean-Baptiste Gasominari discussing that bill that's been passed there in Uganda by the President Yoweri Museveni. Some are calling it controversial. Others are saying it will help in making sure that there is a deterrent to the formation of militant political groups.
Ahoy, matey!
Captain here to help, right, boys?